off for it.
Can I just ask one quick question?
Yes, of course you can.
On this process.
Yes.
There's an internal State Department memo that was put out about this that said that the undersecretaries are going to be submitting a path to reduce domestic staff by 15%. Can you just help us understand how the leadership in charge of this reorg came up with the 15% number, and if there's any wiggle room there? Or if
Well, I said this is an internal document. I'm not going to speak on something that you may or may. I'm not going to presume you didn't see something, so forgive me. But I'm not going to speak on the specifics of something like that. But the undersecretaries do have a role here. Because this is, again, not from on high things being swept away with one of those large yard brooms. This is a very specific dynamic brought to the undersecretaries who have daily operational experience. I see you. Keep your hand down, please. I'm sorry. It's a little distracting. These are undersecretaries who are working daily with the people in this building, who work in this building, who know what's being produced, who know what has to happen, and they are best suited to make a determination when it comes to this roadmap about how to apply the nature of what we want to accomplish. So the undersecretaries are directly involved, and they will, I think they'll have about 30 days to make their own plan in this framework. And then, of course, we'll see how that manifests in the meantime.
And then just one quick question.
Sure.
Was DOGE involved at all on this plan, or was this just a State Department proposal?
No, this, I think, is a very good example of the importance. You know, we know the American people love the result of DOGE. I think there were some questions, perhaps, about how it was applied. And what we do know is that the DOGE approach, the goal of that entity and of that committee is something the president appreciated and still does, as do the American people very much. But when, I believe, the president said a few weeks ago that ultimately this was going to be an approach that the secretaries were going to begin to apply. And also that does make sense, because whether it's the secretaries or the undersecretaries or the people running the offices, it is the daily work of individuals committed to the country, making a difference for the world. And the people on the ground working together know best about how this works, what could change, and how it should change. So this is, I think, a very good example of the continuation of that mission and the value of that mission to cut government down to size, get people used to the idea that it can happen without it being a bad thing, and then watching the benefits that flow. So secretaries now in charge of this. Remember, this is from an executive order. This is a whole of government, every department looking at how they can make their department more efficient, less burdensome, less bureaucratic. This is the State Department's version of that. I would say that that DOGE is not in charge of this, but this is the result of what we've learned and the fact that we appreciate the results, and we want more of those results, and it is now in the hands of the secretaries as well. All right.